EU leaders, including UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer, NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte, will accompany Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky for crucial Washington talks with US President Donald Trump on Monday. In preparation, the leaders also held talks today with EU Chief Ursula von der Leyen and Zelensky holding a press conference. Zelensky emphasized that Ukraine and Moldova cannot be divided, stressing regional unity and solidarity against aggression. He declared that international borders must not be changed by force, a clear message to Russia and to any would-be aggressor.
Russia is still unsuccessful in Donetsk region. Putin has been unable to take it for 12 years. And the constitution of Ukraine makes it impossible to give up territory or trade land. Since the territorial issue is so important, it should be discussed only by the leaders of Ukraine and Russia at the Trilateral, Ukraine, United States, Russia. So far, Russia gives no sign that Trilateral will happen.
Zelensky, an EU chief, endorsed the idea of a trilateral meeting involving Ukraine, the United States and Russia, paving the way for multilateral dialogue provided Ukraine is at the table. Zelensky also said that Washington is with us, invoking solidarity from the US as a crucial part of Ukraine's defense strategy. He referred to upcoming discussions at the White House tomorrow to align on strategic priorities, adding that this unity helps reach real peace. Von der Leyen, speaking alongside Zelensky, welcomed President Trump's stated willingness to provide Article 5-like security guarantees, a commitment she urged the EU to match with.
We welcome President Trump's willingness to contribute to Article 5-like security guarantees for Ukraine. And the coalition of the willing, including the European Union, is ready to do its share.
The crucial Washington talks will take place 3 days after Putin-Trump held high-stakes talks in Alaska, which led to no deal. However, both leaders said they made progress. Reports say Putin has demanded Ukraine to cede Luhansk and Donetsk. On the other hand, U.S. envoy Steve Witkoff has put out a statement and said Russia made some concessions with regards to 5 Ukrainian regions central to Moscow's war against the country. And these concessions are made during the high-stakes Alaska summit between Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin. In an interview to CNN, Witkoff, in an apparent reference to Donetsk, Luhansk, Kherson, Zaporizhia and Crimea, said that the Russians made some concessions at the table with regards to all 5 of those regions. He added Trump and Putin have agreed to robust security guarantees for Ukraine during their high-stakes summit in Alaska. Mr. Greg Swenson is a political commentator and China affairs analyst. Is now joining us live from Miami, the United States. Mr. Swenson, good to see you and thank you very much for making time for us. Tomorrow is a big day for Ukraine and also Russia and also the United States. But according to Zelensky, he doesn't support the trilateral meeting between Russia, Ukraine and the United States, whereas Trump and von der Leyen are supporting the trilateral meeting. What do you make of this diverging opinions?
Yeah, I think there's some positioning going on here, and I think ultimately there will be a trilateral meeting and perhaps even just a bilateral meeting between Russia and Ukraine. But I do think that the president has made really great progress. Friday was, was progress. There was no deal announced, but I don't think if the president was discussing concessions on behalf of Putin and Zelensky, he wasn't able to announce anything until he actually sits down with Zelensky. So I think this is a great progress step, and I think we'll see more of that on Monday when Zelensky and President Trump meet in Washington.
Mm-hmm. All right, Mr. Swenson, stay with me because I want us to talk about another issue, which is the United States and China.